Hey everybody, this is Jeremy with the Rack. Hey, we've got some exciting stuff coming to our training centers. Hopefully, it's going to make your life as an instructor easier and our life as training center administrators easier, um, and get you your cards faster, more efficiently. I want to start off by first of all telling everybody thank you. Thank you for what you do for us. Thank you for being instructors. I know that I appreciate it, and the people in the region appreciate you doing this. I know it's a thankless job, and some of you absolutely love doing it, and some of you do it now because that's what you've done for years, and there's nobody else to do it. But what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to make life easier on you. So, how are we going to do it? Well, the RAC has purchased some software to hopefully make the processes easier for us as instructors. So, the software we have is called Enrollware. And Enrollware ties directly with the American Heart Association site with Atlas, and it's going to hopefully make your life again easier as an instructor by taking out all the extra paperwork, all the extra steps that's necessary to do a class. So, without further ado, we're going to get in and we're going to show you a little bit about what the software will do, what its capabilities are, and how we're going to use it to make your life easier. So, you're going to come to the Enrollware login screen. Everybody will have their own username. I have created those usernames for you, and we have added a password, and I'll get those sent to everybody. So you'll come to it, you'll type in your information, you'll log in here. And when you do, you'll come to a screen that looks like this. This is the home screen. You're going to see a couple of things up here. You'll see the training center that you're attached to. You'll have a notifications page, and you'll have my account page here. Under the My Account page, you're able to go in and you're able to fill out your information. Again, I've already assigned a username to you, but you can check the spelling of your first and last name. That's important. You're able to add in your address if you want to, city, state, mobile phone number. Check your email address. And I've also auto-populated your AHA instructor ID. So check that to make sure it's correct. If you want a different name printed on the card as your instructor name, you can enter that in there as well. Don't worry about HSI or ASHI instructor ID. That's for different training. And you don't need to do anything with the RCLC username. You're able to update any of these options if you would like to, and then change your password and update that. Once you're done, click Update Account, and it will update everything for you. You can see here on this home screen, there's already a class scheduled, but I'm going to show you how to go in and schedule a class. So if this wasn't here, you're going to click Schedule a Class. You're going to choose the course that you're going to be instructing. So for this example, we're going to do a BLS provider instructor led. Guidelines 2025-2020. This will be going away shortly because no longer should we be doing anything with 2020 guidelines. We should all be in the 2025. If you work for a facility where we have multiple instructors, we'll have your name here. So you can click and check what institution that you're with. If you're just an individual instructor, so you work for the RAC, for example, and we just have a single instructor or a couple of instructors, you'll click PRAC instructor, and we'll get your locations from you, and we'll populate those into the system so you can check where we're going to be participating at or doing the class at. You'll have a drop down to choose the instructor, and then you'll be able to choose the class date and time. So for this class, we're going to schedule it for March 4th, and it's going to be at 8 a.m., and we're going to run till 5 p.m. Leave the price at 0. It's not something we're going to mess with because if we put something in there, then you're going to have to, students or somebody's going to have to pay the RAC for those classes, and that's not how we're functioning. So leave that at 0. how many total hours that we're going to be having the class. So for this one, we've got 9 hours, and the maximum number of students we want to attend. So we're going to put 5 in there. So if you're teaching a class, you're going to be able to send out a link to your students, sign up for the class, or post the class if interested. And those students can go in and they can sign up for that class. And if they're the 6th person, it won't allow them to sign up for it. I'm going to ask that you, under the listing, click off the box that says include in the online class catalog. That would be, so if the RAC were teaching a class and we had a bunch of students coming, we may post that to the RAC site and everybody would show up and could sign up for the class that way. But if you leave that box checked, then anybody has the ability to go online and see classes that are offered. So if you have XYZ hospitals offering a class for their personnel and you don't want people to attend, it would show up and then I could sign up for to participate as a student at XYZ hospital. So go ahead and click that off. Close registration early. This is a nice feature. So if you want to be able to close registration so you have total counts before the start date of the class, you can have it closed 24 hours before the class or 2 days or however you choose to. That's up to you as the instructor. And then assistants, you can have an instructor, just click them as an assistant and you can add as many people as you want to. Public notes, you can add notes in here. This will allow for students to be able to see these notes. And then internal notes is notes that you would type that only instructors and admins can see. Once you've entered in this information, if you will click Update Class, and now you'll see that the class has been populated. We're going to go through here and you can actually see everything that we've already entered. You can check it and make sure that everything is okay. One nice feature up here is repeat this class. So if you're going to do this class 3 days in a row, there's no reason for you to retype everything. You just repeat class and there you go. There you have it. Right here, your registration links, you can actually copy these and paste these and put them in an email to send out to your participants, or you can do a bulk registration link and send that out and make it available. And when you do that, it'll give you an access code. They have to put that access code in there, and then students can sign up for it. The regular registration link, they go in, they click here. They're able to search for classes, find locations, and we'll touch on that a little more here in a little bit. One of the things that I want to point out here is let's update this class. All right, so now we have the class scheduled. So with the class being scheduled, this says upcoming classes. So 3-5, we registered the class for 3-4. So go down to past classes because it's the date of, and it's listed here. Now we can go in and we can sign up students. So we've clicked the class and there's a couple of ways to add students. You can go to quick add, which is probably the easiest method to do. And when you go to quick add, you can go in here and you can type in the student's name, or they can enter their own name in with their email and their phone number. They're welcome to put their address, all that stuff if you want to, and then they can click add student. So again, that's probably the easiest method, but there is another way to doing it, and you can click Add Student. When you click Add Student here, it gives you a few more options. So we can click Certification or Recertification. This is a recertification course, and this is going to be Miss Jane Smith is taking this class. And and her number. They're welcome to put their license number in if they want to. Then we can update the student. But before we do there, I want to move back up to the top and I want to point out a feature to you. So the American Heart Association is always looking to make sure that they have the most up-to-date materials out there and that their exams are secure. And one of the things that many of you know is they have really pushed the digital examination over the past several years. So we do know that it is kind of cumbersome to get to at times. So you have to send each participant their own link and they have to have that email, click on the link in order to go to the class. So with this software, it actually makes it easier. So when we go up here, we got course, date, time, charges, labels, options, and under options, we have BLS digital exam. When you click that, that is going to give us an opportunity to assign them a digital exam once they complete the class. Again, we're going to work as the RAC to move toward having digital exams with very few exceptions. And if there is an exception, then instructors will have to notify us and get permission to use paper exams still. Once all this is done, we update the student. And we can see back, when we go back, we can see the home page again. Jane Smith signed up, and under the options, 01 is the code for the digital exam. So you can see that John Doe here doesn't have that. So we can go over here to the action button and we can add him a digital exam. Scroll to the bottom, update the student, and now he has the digital exam also. Again, part of what we're hoping to do is we're hoping to minimize the paperwork that you have to complete while still maintaining the AHA guidelines. So this software is going to allow you to have everything in one location that you can see, that we can see, and that you can access from the retention period necessary of 3 years. All right, so let's say that let's go ahead and add one more student to it. Miss Sydney Jones. Again, we're going to make sure that she gets a BLS digital exam and she's a recertification. And we're going to update her in the system. So now we have 3 students who are taking the course. We had a max of 5, only 3 signed up for it, and that's okay. Up until the roster is finalized, you should be able to go in and make changes. So if you needed to up the number of students, all of a sudden you got an additional instructor, or maybe your instructor assistant was no longer available, you can delete them off of it, add another person in there if necessary. So these are options that are available to you. Also at the bottom, you have a place for documents where you can drag and drop documents in. So for those instructors, on the rare occasion that we have to do a paper exam, you would make those copies into a PDF and drag and drop those files in here. And now they're here with the class and we can always access them at any time. Update the class. So you'll see the students who are participating here. Couple of things that we'll notice, we have a send communications button. Send communications is going to allow you to send an email communication to anybody who's in the class, including instructors, instructor assistants. You can click people if you don't want to send it to them. You can check all. You can check to send it to none. So there's plenty of options here. Add whatever communication you want to and send the email, or you can resend a confirmation email that they've signed up for the class. The send text function should not be working, so please do not try and send text to your students. Export gives some options so you can export a roster so you can see it. It allows you to export things to Atlas if you needed to, or to upload it to Atlas, but we shouldn't need to because all of this will actually tie to Atlas and take care of it. So you shouldn't, no longer should you have to log into Atlas to issue cards. Payments, we're going to leave blank. Edit scores. So this is going to allow you to go in and add test scores. Remember that AHA now wants us to record compression fractions, so we can record those there. If you're an ACLS or PALS instructor, there will be a spot for the pre-test score as well. And then status, it allows you to actually, did they complete the course? Was it incomplete? Did they need to be remediated? Did the student not show up? Did we cancel it? What were they there for? Did we reschedule? So all sorts of opportunities to help us better differentiate what went on during our class. We can save those changes. And again, go back, and it brings us back to the home screen or the course screen. The next thing that we have here, we see finalize roster. We don't want to do that yet. Print cards. We'll talk about it here in a minute once the class is complete. And now let's go to forms. So forms is a very interesting thing that I really enjoy. So forms is going to allow you to go up, and instead of having to have your copies of your AHA forms, you need to have that just for the all the information that's on there when you're testing. But we've actually included the forms, built those into the system for you. So you can go up, and for this BLS class, you got adult CPR AED or infant CPR skills testing. So you go in and you check the student, and this works really well from a phone. It formats really well, so you can use your phone while you're testing them and go in and just click them that yes or no. Most everything is set up in a yes/no format. You've got the scenarios at the top, just like you do on the skill sheets, and it has a breakdown of each section where you can go in and check whether they're successful or not successful on all of it. So we do require answers for them. And at the end of it, you're going to have to choose whether they pass. If the student is not successful, you're going to need to enter why they were unsuccessful. If you did remediate them and they're successful, that's fine. You can put that there. But overall, if they were unsuccessful and you choose to fail the student, then we need to know why. That way we have the ability to go back and look. There's a button there that we can erase that form if necessary. But when we save the form, it's going to tell you, see, please answer all the required questions. And it'll go in and highlight what those are that you missed. So let's make sure that we complete everything. And we'll also have your name down at the bottom. So if you have multiple instructors, you'll have to type in your name that you are the instructor for it. I still miss one. Save the form. This form is saved successfully. So we've done John Doe's. Now we're going to do Sydney Jones's form. So when we're working in that skills testing, we don't have to back and forth. It keeps the same skill up, and we're just able to go in there and check yes or no. Were they successful? Were they not successful? And did they pass overall, or did they need remediated? Again, works really well when you're using a phone. And just so you can see here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make her unsuccessful on everything. Just so you can see that when we flop back, it actually updates the form to the right person. It's not the same form with the same information. And then when you get ready to move to the next skills station, if you're teaching the infant skills testing, you can go to it and you can do the same thing. And then you save the forms and go back. So this gives us a nice place to have everything integrated into one place where when I get ready to look at your records, I can go in there and see that. So let's say we have completed the course now. We have done all the skills testing, and now it's time for your student to actually take the exam. So what we want to do, remember that we assigned those cards to them or that digital link. So you're going to go in here and you're going to click to assign. And when you click to assign, it will provide a digital link, and that will take them to the test. Now, something I've noticed, and I don't know why, when you click on this the first time in their email, sometimes it doesn't take them right to that web page. It takes them to a different web page, but then if they click on it a second time, go back into the email, click on it a second time, it takes them right to it. And I don't know why that is, but it seems to work that way. They can also copy and paste, leaving the 01 off of it. So if you need to copy and paste and send it to them manually for whatever reason, you could do that as well. Once you have assigned all those tests out, and you're going to do that for each student if they're successful and they're going to complete the post test, then you go to send communications and you can resend confirmation email, and it will attach that email to email link to their email. So I'm going to go ahead and I don't remember who I sent that post test to. So we're going to send it to, I'm just going to send it to John Doe right now. But I would actually send it to everybody, but for the purposes of this, I'm just going to send it to John Doe. Their email should already be in there, so you shouldn't have to do anything, but I'm going to send this to mine now. So now we've sent that email. And I'll show you. And when that email shows up, I'll show you. So we'll get back to that in a minute. Maybe let me try this right here. All right. So that email came across. And this is what it looks like. So at the top, it actually gives them a calendar option to be able to add it to their calendar. BLS instructor course. So this is the course link that'll come out. And they will click this and it will take them to that test code. and they activate it, sign into their account, and they will be good to take the exam. Once that is over with and we've finished all that, again, we can go in and add their scores in. Um, John's pretty smart. He made a 96. Sydney had to be remediated, but let's change that. She came back and made an 84, and she ended up completing the test just like any other skill sheet. If it doesn't say complete, they're not going to get a card with it. And then Jane Smith, she's been doing it forever. She got 100. And we'll put in their CCFs. Once we're done, we click Finalize Roster. It's going to tell me I have to sign at the bottom. And once we finalize the roster, it should send cards as long as we have cards in the test bank. So while we're on that subject, let's talk about cards for a minute. We're going to do something that we've never done before because of this software. We're going to give instructors an opportunity to purchase cards up front. American Heart Association allows us to do that. And since this software helps make sure that you have everything together in one place and completed before the cards are issued, this will allow us to do it while maintaining the strict AHA guidelines and standards that are there, and still allow us the opportunity to go back and check and see, audit your classes and look at them from our side. So that is going to be an option moving forward, that you would be able to purchase cards up front. And then as long as you have cards in the bank, it will automatically issue those, and that will eliminate some of the delays from when you submit your rosters to when you're able to actually send cards to students. And now we can go back to past classes. We see the past class. So some things here. Here you're still able to go back in and you're able to see it. And I'm pretty certain you're not supposed to be able to edit anything. Let's see if it says. Might need to check it, but it shouldn't allow you to edit it. But we'll check our settings and everything. But one of the things, you can go back in here and you can see the forms, evaluate and see if there's a question. You can see what the forms were. So it still allows you to go back in and look at that roster. You can export a roster. So if you want to keep a copy or something for your benefit, you have it. Sorry, click View Roster, and here's your roster. Everything nice and clean. Again, limits paper. You can save this to your files as well, so you have a copy of it locally if you need to, or if you need to turn it in to administration so people can get paid or whatever. Just make sure that you're cautious releasing test scores and things like that, sensitive information, but it does give you the opportunity to do things like that. Also allows you to print cards. So when you go to print cards here, everything should be tied and linked to your AHA stuff. And once you hit finalize, all those cards should have went out. I'm going to show you here because I've got a test one on and not an actual instructor tied to this course. If you had an actual instructor tied to the course over here, once cards were issued, it would be a green check mark there that showed all the cards had been issued. and would allow you to go in and actually see those cards that you issued to students. Again, you can do past classes, you can do a student search. If you want to know something about a specific student, you can go in and you can look that student up, and you can see John Doe has taken a lot of classes from us, and you can pull up the information on him there. So I know there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, but I think this is going to be beneficial for everybody in the end. Um, go back to our past class real quick and let's get back in here one thing. So understand that with the digital testing, this is one thing that is still lacking. It does not tie that certificate and send it automatically back to us. So when the student finishes their digital testing, they'll need to provide you with a copy either via email or a printed copy that you scan into a PDF and you drag and drop across to your documents here. Again, that way we make sure that everything is in one place, that it's accessible to every one of us anytime that we need it. Moving forward, if we come up with something new and find something different about the software that will benefit you, or you have questions, please feel free to reach out to Justin or myself, and we'll be happy to help you. And I hope this software pays great dividends. I'll move back real quick on one thing. And this is really going to be more for our ACLS and PALS classes. So if I'm going to do ACLS, we're going to do an instructor led. We don't have to select client, but we'll do, I'm with the Panhandle Rack. This is my instructor, fill out all this. But what I wanted to point out to you is that with this class, it will send when they register it, or when we send it out and somebody registers, it should send them a copy of the pretest. So that pretest will be available to the student as well for them to be able to click on, and that'll prevent you from having to send that additional link. Again, after the class, you will need to scan in a copy of that pretest into the documents, and keep that for our records. But I hope that helps everybody out. If you have questions, again, please feel free to reach out to Justin or I as we continue to work through this. I know there's going to be some questions. We may run into a few bumps in the roads, but the software's been out there for a while. So I think it's going to be pretty good for every one of us to reduce our workload, reduce the paper that we're required to keep, and make sure that we're in compliance. So if you have questions, again, reach out to us. PRAC Training Center at panhandlerack.org, or you have our phone numbers. Give us a call, and hope to see you guys soon. Thanks.